Hello, my stars. I just recorded it already, and so now I have to redo it because my phone was this. Now it's this way, but it was this way, so it'd be completely weirdly framed. Anyways, okay. I asked ChatGPT to give me some questions about an interview for this. Now there's some decent questions. There's some bad questions. You don't you don't need to know that. So I said, "Can you ask me some questions for my podcast?" Absolutely, yes. Interview time, but you are the star, the host, and the main character. These are questions that are gonna help you spill your tea. Spill your heart, tell your truth, serve your artistry on a glitter platter. This emoji and then a microphone emoji. Here's a mix of deep, fun, and emotional, just straight up cool questions to answer on your podcast about the album. So, what was the very first song you wrote for the album? And what made it the beginning? Now, realistically, for the album Mackenzie, now it's just happy, yippee, new thing. It was originally just gonna be a single, but then eventually I really liked the vibe of it, and yeah. So I do go to weird. Sorry, I'm back. So I think it didn't set the whole entire vibe for the album, but then I went in order. Went The Night Sky. I thought I knew I need this type of emotion, but Mackenzie kind of just it helps me move on to the situation, and her being being the best friend ever and saying you should do this, I did, and it helped me, and I love her for that. I don't know if she knows this, but she's literally the best person ever. She's such a vibe. She's helped me so many times I can't even explain. Physically, I'm not able to. I always forget to do this, but never mind. Anyways, was there a lyric on this project that scares you because it's too honest? Okay. Mainly, there's just one part in the bridge of the song Do I Deserve It, which really gets me. I'll serve myself because they make fun of no, not that part. And people say I deserve the hate. They say go kill yourself. I take pills so I won't try. Do I deserve it? That is just I am not able to comprehend how I was just able to do that. There's not much I can really explain with it. Okay. If this album were a color or a weather forecast, what would it be and why? Color, blue. Obviously, that's quite obvious. I mean, it's the whole kind of vibe. Weather forecast, it would probably be rain, rain, a mix of rain and fog on a morning. Just or in the middle of the night. I mean, I think it's quite. I do think that it is very. It's not that it's super sad. I mean, there's days and nights. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Whew. The next two are quite tricky. What is one song that almost didn't make it on the album, but you're so glad it did? Okay. I think there was two. Okay, yeah, there's two. Now, I always give a lot of credit to the song Do I Deserve It? I know I'm dragging it, but it was it was one of them that almost didn't happen. I cried too much while making it. And it took me like so much to like actually finish it. And then the second one is The Pain, for the same exact reasons. It is so sad where I was almost not able to like record it without crying. And it took me I think I looked already. It took me 6 times to get it finally like not me crying in it. And I don't cry to many things, but when it gets to the topic of suicide and suicide awareness, it does very much get me going. Especially in songs. So, okay. Which track feels like your soul cracked open and poured out? Now, I would say, obviously, credit again to the song Do I Deserve It and The Pain, but then to a third one, You Were My Fake Friend. I do think that is very, like, strong one, if you watched my last episode, you get more of, like, an explanation why I would definitely recommend doing that. But yeah. Now it's got the questions about you plus your process. When you write music, do you start with the words, the vibes, or the feeling? I would say I start with the feeling and think about like just how like it's gonna feel like. And there were some where it did change eventually, like two that I can tell right now was Days Turn to Nights and Eclipse. Originally, those two were gonna be very, very, very sad sounding. But then I eventually changed Days Turn to Nights to be like synthed up brat kind of song, just because I didn't want to let everybody down with a super sad album. And then Eclipse, that one didn't get too happy. I mean, it's definitely one of the ones where I'm like, yeah. Is there a song on the album that healed you while writing? I give too much credit to this one. But do I deserve it? I think that is probably my most favorite song ever. It really got me through it, and I can't even explain how much it helped me personally. Okay. How has your sound or writing changed since your last project or song ever? Okay. On one of the podcast episodes, I think it was like 5th one. Yeah, it was like the 5th one, and I personally leaked every single song off the next album, and you can see that it's a lot more experimental. It is a lot more like boom, 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 kind of vibe. That's how I would say that. Isn't that actually wait? Isn't that how actually wait? Isn't that how Days Turn to Nights start? boom, 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 boom. Tell me that's not the same. Okay, anyways. Okay, you can see that in some of these, it's a little bit more like, it's more like, I'd say it's more electric guitar. This one explains it a lot. Synthesizers. I did change that one multiple times, so it may not sound the same. Electric guitar again. I use electric guitar a lot, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. Oops. Now that one was my electric guitar over there. I mean, there's acoustic and electric over there, so. Yeah, that's about it. So. I was almost gonna leak literally everything from there. But yeah, you can see it's kind of more upbeat. I didn't really show you like the sad ones. I mean, I think it has changed from being like, like going like this as if it's a, it's a you know. Yeah. So, what do you want people to feel when they listen to the album front to back? Oof. Oof. Okay. I want people to feel like they can relate. I want people to feel as if they're not the only one in situations like this. I mean, I'll talk about it, and I may talk about this in the next podcast episode. But I want people to feel like they can relate to me. That's why some of these are very, 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 very dark. Now, there's some for like specific topics, like Fury being like needing to release all this like anger but not being sure. So writing into a song. The pain helping with suicide awareness. There's a little break with When Your Galaxy's Away. No, I wouldn't really say that one's specifically a break. I mean, that one's more like having a fight with someone and being separated from them so that you guys can heal and see where you are from there. And it really is not working out. A relationship that's not working out. And now you're very far away from them. And you don't know what to do because it was never like this, Anyways, then you get a break from Till the Day That I Die. I was kind of a little cuckoo. Not like cuckoo or cuckoo when doing that, but I definitely like. Sorry, my little sister was being a little bit annoying. So yeah. Do you write more when you're sad, angry, in love, or something else entirely? Definitely sad. And then you can see it. Anyways. Fun and a little spicy. Be honest, what's your favorite track on the album right now? I'm gonna take a second. Okay. I'd have to say probably I Believed It or You Were My Favorite. Just because I think those two are the most well written, most well produced. You know, oh, Memories Like You, the beginning of it, definitely. Okay. If your album was a movie, what would the trailer look like? Me running into a field, breaking down. I really thought up this whole situation in my head before. Me running into a field, breaking. Well, first of all, running out of my house after being broken up with. Running onto a field, looking up in the sky, begging, just like begging for help. I think that's kind of. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that would be the trailer. Okay. Which pop star would kill a remix of one of your songs? So, like, be very good. I believe that's what she's trying to say. A pop star who would eat up. I would say Charlie XCX if she didn't have the. I would say for specific songs like Days Turn to Nights, Charlie XCX could definitely go on. I think Billie Eilish, Taylor Swift, maybe Tate McRae. I don't know. I would probably think Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey would probably work the best. Anyways, what is the most chaotic thing that happened during making this song? So, now, beginning half of it, I was using BandLab. And I don't know, there was a glitch at the time where my phone would sound like it's cracking. And you could hear how bad the audio sound. So I bought a microphone. The microphone had the wrong cord for my phone. I ordered the add-ons to it. Wrong thing. Ordered it again. Never came. And it was just like so chaotic. And the microphone never worked. I used a Volacoder. I think that was the app. And I'd go into that corner and just like whisper into my phone, like sing it into my phone. Specifically, like cover that corner up with blankets so it wouldn't echo off of everything. Okay. What is something nobody knows about the project yet? I don't think anything. I really don't think anything. I didn't really hide much. I will only say it's only the start of something big. Yeah, you know. Anyways, for the listeners. Okay, so now oh wait. Okay. So this isn't for you guys. What's one message you whisper to someone listening to this album at 2 a.m.? Hey, bitch, you're mentally insane, just so you know that. But I love you. Yeah, so that's what I would say to them. I would also ask if they're, like, mentally okay. Why? Just why? Anyways, what would you say to your younger self if they heard this album? Oof. Don't be like this. Don't be like this. Nope. Don't be like this, younger. What's one thing you hope people don't miss in the lyrics? I'm a bitch boss mother. Okay, I'm feeling myself too much right now. What's one thing you hope people don't miss in the lyrics? Okay, I gotta really think in that. If they can relate to it or not. You know, I'm a big person about relating to music. You know, that's one thing that, like, really helps people out, and I know it does. So, yeah. Okay. 19. Question 19. If a fan came up to you and said, "This album saved me," how would you react? Oof. Baby girl, how could this save you? But if anything, this will bring you down. Hun. We know you're not okay. And I would have some follow-up questions, you know. Anyways, what's next after this project drops? I mean, it's already dropped. So, what's next? What's next? A music video? A concert? No concert. I mean, I've tried a Roblox concert before, failed. So yeah, no. Maybe a music video. Maybe I can cook something up. Like maybe a little cool music video. I think that maybe for my next project, I do have a very good music video idea, and I would be able to cook something up with that, you know? And like I just said, what's next after this project? You know, new album. So let me just play. Probably one that's like not important to me as much. This is like obviously the first part of it, so. Oh, no, I forgot that was not. I changed it from electric guitar, so now it's not the same. Okay, I would say here, maybe this. We broke up over the phone, now I'm alone, my life's so alone. And I hope you open up the door and leave you in the house with you nothing. And I'm alone, so alone. You must be happy. Yeah, you must be happy. Now this is happiness. I've been searching for this essence. I think that's probably the best part I've ever written. You just got a whole 45 seconds. So hopefully y'all are happy now that I bleeped half of a freaking 3-minute song. Okay, anyways. So, yeah, any more questions? I am at the end. Okay. Oh, honeys, babes. Okay. If this album had a heartbeat, what would it sound like? Yeah, something like that. Dun 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 dun, something like that. What's one thing you realized about yourself making this? then I'm really fucking depressed. Like, what? Was there a moment where you almost gave up on the album? What pulled you back in? No, nothing. If someone only had time to listen to one track, what would it be and why? Probably The Pain, just because it is very important about the topic of suicide. I do think, yeah, if this album were a message in a bottle floating out to someone who needs it, what's inside? Probably, probably a little bottle of alcohol in the bottle. No, I'm just kidding. Probably some teardrops. How do you want to be remembered after people hear this? That I'm a fucking badass bitch.
No, wait too long.
Okay. What would you title this era in your life? Bitch ass boss move era. Yep. I'm feeling myself too much again. Okay. If this album could speak to your future self, what would it say? Why were you like that, bitch? Huh? Anyways, I keep swearing too much. YouTube, I promise this isn't usually how I am, okay? That goes to everybody, not just you too. What would you say to the person who broke your heart inspired the pain? How did it know? I never told that about. I never told it about that song. Right? Okay. So you're not gonna work on that? Hey bitch, look at me now. How do you like me now? As Lana Del Rey said. Just know, your words don't hurt me. They're making me millions of dollars. I'm just kidding. They're not making me anything. I don't make money off of my YouTube and stuff like that. What is the bravest thing you did while creating this? Probably just speaking out about some of this stuff, you know? Sweet send-off ideas. 3 words to describe this album. Okay. Are you okay? Or need a hug? Or you will cry. No, you will cry. Okay. A quote or lyric that has been stuck in your soul lately. Oof. Like I said, probably I take pills so I won't they say go kill yourself. I take pills so I won't try. Do I deserve it, you know? A song that is not on the album. Oh, that's been inspiring you lately. I can't share that because if it wasn't on the album, it was for a reason. And the one that I can think of, I did bring it back, which was Forgive. So, yeah, it inspired me for a new era. You know? As an EP, you know? EPs I don't share as big. One thing you'd whisper to your listeners if they were right in front of you. Do you need help? Are you mentally okay? Do you want a hug? You good? Okay, anyways. Yeah. Need help with making a little intro speech with these vibes? Like something poetic, but podcasty to sign off each episode? Yes. Yeah. How did I just mess up spelling yes that bad? Okay. Podcast outro. Aesthetic Edition. Alright, stars. That's the end of today's episode. If you made it far, you're basically part of my tribe and my cult, basically. I wouldn't really call it a cult, but congrats. You're what? Now, congrats. You're track 5. Track 3. My status one. Whether you're crying in your room, dancing in a mirror, staring at the ceiling, it's got the answers. Thank you for listening, feeling, and just being here. Remember, you're not too much. You're not too little. Your story deserves to be loud. Until next time, stream the album, scream the lyrics, and stay soft but unbreakable. Love you, my stars. I hope you have the most amazing, spectacular, best rest of your day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.